Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So, Bala, is there any specific test? Any specific test? Any specific test we have to treat in the Gita? Any specific facts or text?
Absolutely.
You don't follow suit. Okay. Alright, so I just open one place here and we will take from here. So Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 4, text 38. Text 38, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. Title of the chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. Transcendental Knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha bhijati tatsvayam yoga samsidha kalenatmani vindati. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha bhijati tatsvayam yoga samsidha kalenatmani vindati. So translation by His Divine Grace, translation and purport by His Divine Grace is confirmed Acharya Srila Abhachan Navinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Papa Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this world there is nothing so sublime and pure. Oh. We take word-for-word translation first. Please can respond with repeat. Nothing. He certainly. Jnanena, with knowledge. Sadrisham, in comparison. Pavitram, sanctified. Iha, in this world. Vidyate. Vidyate exists. Tat that. Swayam himself. Yoga in devotion. Samsiddha he who is mature. Kalina in course of time. Atmani in himself. Vindati enjoys. Translation purport by Divine Grace is Kumpanacharya, Srila Bhakti Bhakti Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Kirtan. In this world there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Please kindly responsibly repeat, in this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. But when we speak of transcendental knowledge, we do so in terms of spiritual understanding. As such, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Ignorance is the cause of our bondage, and knowledge is the cause of our liberation. This knowledge is the mature fruit of devotional service. And when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself. In other words, this knowledge and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. That is the last word in the Bhagavad Gita. Pande Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Sarvadita, Bodhidhaya, Chaitanya, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Kala, Sri Sarvadita, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Come to Vaishavam, Kariyam, Agatam, Kripa, Tamanam, Golden Triangle. Namo Vishnu Actors, Semate Bhakti Vedanta, Namaste Saraswati, and everything. Sonia Bali, Pancha Kapakari, Krishna, So, this is a very important verse to know because it's glorifying transcendental knowledge. Transcendental knowledge means what? Knowledge that goes beyond the physical realm. Transcendental knowledge might not necessarily mean devotional knowledge. Or transcendental knowledge alone itself could really give us an insight. But again, when we talk about transcendental knowledge, there are two aspects to it: the impersonal transcendental knowledge and the personal transcendental knowledge. So we have impersonalists and the personalists. The Vaishnavas, they call Vaishnavas because they are addicted to the worship of Lord Vishnu. And The impersonalists, they are addicted to the impersonal fortunes. They are addicted to the impersonal fortunes of the Lord. So both sides, the Transcendentalist is addicted. One is addicted to the impersonal, one is addicted to the personal form of the Lord. So the Vaishnavas, they have that upper hand. And that knowledge which the soul is nourished by bathing the intellect in the cosmogonial philosophy of the Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, that enriches the soul so much that they are endowed with peace. Because peace generally is something we find from within. People champion different or initiate different peace processes. But because they don't have peace within, they don't achieve the external peace either. If we can only give something, okay, suppose someone comes to me and I give him a donation or give her a donation of 1 million rands. I'm just a poor brahmachari. What am I going to give that? I can only give something to somebody that I have. So if someone hasn't attained peace themselves, and they have some external initiation for peace, or they're initiating a project for peace, it becomes like someone trying to give something they don't have. And therefore, Papa mentioned in the Papa that this knowledge and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. In other words, if someone has transcendental knowledge, the person becomes peaceful. Because generally, if you have that higher principle, higher knowledge, there is the theoretical aspect of that transcendental knowledge. Like we have a main theme, like a theoretical framework. And then from the theoretical framework, you'll be able to make some applications of that theoretical framework to deal with some life events. But if you don't have the theoretical framework, where are you going to get the solution? And therefore, the theoretical framework alone does not really give us a deep insight or does not help to solve a problem. It is when we apply a theory in addressing a material situation, then we can actually arrive at a solution. And that solution will give us some type of placation, some type of joy. It will pacify us. Hey, yeah, there are problems, but there's a solution, You use this theory and apply it. So, the whole of this transcendental knowledge is also like a theoretical framework. We have to apply this basic information, this knowledge, then we get the realization, then we become peaceful. That's the placation. And therefore, this knowledge, proper mention, this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge, and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. If someone is sober, you talk something to them, they will listen. Yes. And if someone is fidgety, he has not eaten, he's intoxicated, before you say something, you say, hey, I'm coming. I'm busy. Like a typical case in the streets of New York. So Broad Street, to talk to somebody is so difficult because everybody's like in a hurry. And therefore, we find that people who are so much in a hurry, they don't have peace within themselves because they're in anxiety. They're in a hurry. Why? Because you're in anxiety to meet a target. Anxiety and peace, they are completely of opposite polarities. And therefore, it is important for us to understand that the coordination of this knowledge, of this transcendental knowledge, this transcendental knowledge and peace, the end result is that people become attracted to Krishna consciousness. And that's why even the so-called impersonalists, one old brahmachari, is an octogenarian right now, he says in Mayapur, he told me a story. He was admired by the Sayansi. So we're talking about transcendental knowledge. So these Mayavadis, they have so much of transcendental. You can't defeat them. Except you're really empowered, like Prabhupada. That's what Prabhupada warns us. Don't hang out with them. Because you cannot defeat them. When you talk about philosophy, they are imbued in philosophy. But that is also transcendental knowledge. Except that they are dealing with the impersonal aspect of Krishna. And so when you go close to them, they can just confuse you and convince you very easily. And you lose ground. You lose balance. You can easily lose balance. Because if someone is very knowledgeable, they play with words, okay? They twist words here and twist words this way. Prabhupada says this is jugglery of words. Scholars also do that. The scholars, they want to confuse you. They just use, they play with words and then they can confuse you. So the Mayavadis, also the impersonal transcendentalists, they also do that. They are very knowledgeable, very superlatively knowledgeable. The knowledge is hovering or is hinging on impersonal realization. And whatever it is, the important thing is that transcendental knowledge takes you above the mundane or material platform. We have that higher principle. But in the devotional culture, we have this wonderful opportunity of being able to align that transcendental knowledge to Krishna. And basically, it makes it easy because we have living acharyas, living sadhus, we have also living spiritual masters, and we have a community of devotees to be able to have this association, and then, it boils down to the point that people become joyful just discussing about Krishna. People are also temporarily happy when they discuss about mundane things. Discussion has to go on. When two people come together, they will discuss on something. It's a prime factor. When people come together, they will discuss about something. The object of discussion is the variable. I said, the constant thing, people will discuss. So when impersonalists come together, they discuss about impersonalization. When the personalists come together, they discuss Krishna Katha. And that Krishna Katha helps to revive our spiritual identity. It helps to revamp our spiritual consciousness. And therefore, it is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that association with sadhus is so important in our spiritual development, because even a moment's association can transform one's existence. And it's like someone accidentally is run down by a stray bullet. It's just a small thing. A bullet is a small thing compared to the human form, to the human body. But it's so powerful that it kills somebody. In a similar way, transcendental sound can kill the embodied soul's accumulated Maya. And therefore, when we encounter a self-realized soul, what literally happens that embodiment of knowledge, embodiment of theoretical and realized knowledge is capable of cutting the knot of our material existence. And if you get close to those who are close to Prabhupada, they gave a testimony to this. He made Prabhupada, and practically it's like you're in a different world. He may say something, and what he's saying is not actually from him. It's from the whole parampara. Otherwise, how is it so easy? How is it possible to do, that type of translation and commentary for a short span, for a short period like that? And at that age, When people get to 70, they are retiring from active service. The purpose activities began at the point of the ordinary people's retirement. So, this is also evident of the Shakti of transcendental knowledge. Because it really invigorates the aptitude and attitude of the receptionist of that knowledge, or the one who receives the knowledge. And therefore, we need to make ourselves, we need to become receptacles of this knowledge. If we want to be actively involved in transmitting this knowledge to others, we have to become good receptacles. And that comes when we perform devotional service. Because devotional service basically, it has many positive side effects. Bhagavatam mentions detachment and knowledge becomes a concomitant factor if we embark or we take up devotional service. People have to struggle so much to become detached. People have to struggle so much to acquire knowledge. But when we engage in devotional service, automatically the inner light of knowledge becomes ignited. And therefore sometimes you find that some preacher, some devotees out there preaching, he or she is asked some question, perhaps a question, ordinarily speaking, he has not read it or she has not read it in anywhere. Because also we don't read so much. We tend to be too busy. So but then Krishna uses us as instruments. Somebody asks you a question, and because of the devotional culture, that acquisition of unfathomable knowledge is generated. Someone may ask you a question when you're out there preaching, and then you answer the question, and then later you realize, I never read that anywhere. How come? So again, some empowerment comes when we are embarking on devotional service. And so this knowledge basically, as Krishna mentions here, that this is the apex of transcendental knowledge, because this knowledge brings about such purification that invokes detachment. People are struggling so much to become detached, and for a devotee, detachment becomes a concomitant factor because he or she is involved in serving Krishna, is performing devotional service. Then we don't need to walk. We don't need to go the extra mile to separately develop a sense of detachment from the world. How much can we detach from the world? First of all, we don't own anything in this world. If you own something, then you can say, yes, I want to detach from it. What do we own? What do we have? We're just caretakers. So the caretaker cannot say, well, I'm detached. You say you're detached when you own it. You have this house, okay, I'm detached from it, but we don't own anything. And therefore, it is important for us to be introspective, to figure out, or to realize that this knowledge could be the cause, or in fact, it's not cool. It is going to allow us to become extricated from the charcoals of attachment, from the charcoals of material bondage, from the charcoals of samsara. Because when we have that higher realization, things that we need to do become easier to be achieved. But if we don't have that higher understanding, if even someone tells us the very fact that will help us, because we don't have that higher knowledge, we don't have that higher realization, it is very difficult to subscribe to that what that person is saying. And therefore, because this knowledge is sublime, and it is very enriching to the soul, we have that ability to be able to become detached when we engage in devotional service, in as much as devotional service is not different from Krishna, and Krishna is the supreme here. And so, just like if you put an iron nail, Prabhupada will give an example of iron nail, talking about Sangha, association. You put an iron nail into a burning flame of fire. The iron nail gradually acquires the quality of fire. It becomes red hot. And if you touch something, it could burn it. So in a similar way, when we engage in devotional service, that aspect, the sheet aspect, that is one of the basic fundamental elements or qualities of the soul. Sat, sheet, ananda. Sat, eternity, chit, knowledge. That knowledge becomes ignited in us. This is the beauty of devotional service. So when we take the iron close to the fire, the iron will acquire the qualities of fire, and eventually it will start to act like fire. So when we engage in devotional service, by that association, we also acquire that ultimate knowledge. Because Krishna and devotional service are not different, and because Krishna is fundamentally Satchit Ananda, if we engage in devotional service, we also acquire that sheet, shaft, that knowledge, or the opulence, that knowledge opulence, which gives enlightenment. And so, that transcendental knowledge is available in the form of the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. But these are literatures that we need to read. But beyond this is to be able to have that ignition of that sheet charity within us. And that is very much easily achieved through pure devotional service. And that's why you find all your charities, they are even illiterate. They don't have, big degrees. But go ask them anything. They use as an instrument because that sheet shakti has been ignited. They just use as an instrument, a transparent via medium to transmit the knowledge. So again, it boils down to the need for us to become used, just like Krishna was mentioning to Arjuna. You just be used as an instrument. Everything is already perfect. So if we understand that everything is perfected, and we allow ourselves to be used, then very easily we can attain that Krishna consciousness, which Prabhupada said here in the Prabhupada, transcendental knowledge and peace culminates in Krishna consciousness. When we have that transcendental knowledge. Now, the point is, Prabhupada mentioned the practice of devotional service. Like we have a legal practitioner, a medical practitioner. We also have a devotee practitioner. Devotee practitioner. When we become practitioners of Krishna consciousness, very easily we attain peace. If someone does not practice Krishna consciousness, it's very difficult to attain peace. And if someone is not qualified to practice law, he's not called a legal practitioner. Perhaps you get a job in some firm as a secretary. In both countries, it's a lot of rigor in becoming a legal practitioner. You have to go after graduating, getting a law degree. You have to go for to seek for the bar exams and all these things before you become qualified to be called to the bar. So it's a rigorous process, and therefore devotional service also is very rigorous. It's very demanding, and therefore Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, the practice of devotional service is what easily can bring us to that platform of having peace. Without that devotional culture, without that devotional practice, it's very, very difficult to have peace. Because we may say, well, Krishna mentioned Bhakti-ram Jagata Krishna Sarva Loka Maheshwara. But how many people are ready to give up the recognition that I am the enjoyer? Krishna says he's the enjoyer, but most of us, we are just striving to establish ourselves as the enjoyers. So again, the practice of devotional service or devotional culture could be very difficult. To speak is one thing, but to really practice devotional service might not be so easy. And therefore we need the help of everyone around us to be able to get inspiration and motivation to be able to go on and attain the goal of our endeavor, which is Krishna, Prema, Pumatoma, to attain pure love of Krishna. So we need the support of each other. And therefore it is important for us to be able to work together. And if we work together, like I mentioned the other day, if we work together, then very easily we can achieve our goals in a less strenuous way and in a shorter metacognitive time frame. Are there any comments or questions? Yes.
You're talking transcendental knowledge, obviously realized knowledge. You can only acquire realized knowledge if you perform pure devotional service. Am I correct?
Not necessarily that. Pure devotional service is not so cheap. You can have realized knowledge when you practice Krishna, when you practice devotional service. Pure devotional service, and pure devotional service is like an ocean, which is unlimited. You churn, you keep churning, and then you get different type of things. Anybody can have realized knowledge. It's a matter of applying what you have had, and you live it, and you get some realizations out of it. You don't need to become a Paramahansa to have realized knowledge. No.
Because one can have realization, but then those realizations can go away as well.
If you have realization, yeah. If you have realization, it means that you have some what we call so you were into some devotional ventures, and you have some experiences, and those experiences puts you on a high pedestal to be able to see things from a different perspective from what ordinary people see. But even a child can have a realization. A child may have a realization, but the mom tells the child, "Don't play with the knife. Hey, don't play with the knife." You say, no. So the child, makes some mistake, and then she gets a cut. And then he keeps the knife down. That's realization. That's realization. Now, if we practice devotional service, people may tell us, the material world is very bad. we may not listen. We may not listen. But if we have some experience, say we have some encounter, then we don't need to be told. If we are wise, we don't want to do something contrary again. And then, at the same time, or on the other side of it, is that we have some good experience in our devotional practice, or as we relate with devotees, or as we do in our sadhana, as we do in our seva. We become more motivated. We have, Krishna gives us some realizations, some revelations, and so on, some other things. Krishna has ways of motivating his devotees. And so, what I'm saying, we don't necessarily need to be Paramahansa before we get realization. If we just apply what we have had, what we have learned in devotional service, in our own lives, we will get some higher experience. We will get some transcendental experience. You understand? And sometimes we tend to think that, you have to become a Paramahansa before you have. But everybody here has got some realizations. Yeah. If someone is speaking, they may not directly quote the Shastra, but then they will relate that to some practical experience. That is also a realization. Of course, if we really come to the higher platform of realization, it means that you see somebody and you're not seeing the body, you're seeing the soul or the super soul. Are you seeing the super soul? You can't really see the soul. That soul is so infinitesimal. So, that's why I said, it's of different gradations. But it's not that, you have to become paramount before you have realizations. No. Yes.
Is it irrelevant, the point that Prabhupada makes about second-class learning, or intelligence learning by experience? Is it irrelevant with...
No, that is categorization of intelligence. And one who learns by hearing is supposed to be of a superior intelligence to a person who learns by experience. There's someone who just hears what has happened to others, and he never wants to dive into that. Another person may hear, Pashyana Pina Pashyati. After hearing, after seeing what others have passed through, what has happened to others, and it doesn't learn from that. He wants to hold the fire himself. When the fire burns him, then he will put it down. But another person, even the house is burning, they don't want to go out. They just pretend as if they're sleeping there. You wake them up? No way. That's the worst situation. So we cannot relegate what Papa said to the background. No. It's very important for us to understand that intelligence is on different gradation. And somebody might do it. Intelligence is meant for discrimination. Some may not be able to discriminate very nicely or very quickly. That is unfortunate. So,
in the realm of Bhakti Yoga, does the same not apply? Learning theoretically as much as you can about what's the best kind of devotional service you can perform, rather than perform devotional service and then hoping that you will get knowledge from within, and making no endeavor to theoretically acquire the knowledge yourself.
Realized knowledge and theoretical knowledge, they go side by side. If we say, having realized knowledge, doesn't mean that you shouldn't read. You should endeavor to read. Papa has written so many books, so we should endeavor to read. When we read and we have that knowledge, we can apply that knowledge in our life and we'll get some transformations. So, it's not that we shouldn't endeavor for knowledge. We should endeavor for knowledge. Papa has written so many books. He wants us to read the books so as to be able to share the information in the books with others. Okay.
And saying that devotional service will get knowledge.
But reading the books is also devotional service.
Okay.
Because that is one aspect of devotional service. Hearing. This is part of the hearing. And when you're reading the books, for instance, you're reading the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, it's not different from doing puja on the world. Because Krishna says that, Krishna told Lakshmiji in the Padma Purana, specifically in the Gita Mahatmya, that the Bhagavad Gita is not different from him. So reading the Bhagavad Gita is worshipping Krishna with your intelligence. So you get purification. And devotees who read every day, their chanting is better. So devotees who read every day and do service every day, their quality of chanting is better. The devotees who chant, and they don't read, they get sometimes dry, stagnated. Devotees who chant, they don't do any service. Sometimes they get stagnated, dry. And so these two things, they go together very nicely. We want Krishna to engage us in devotional service. We should also physically do devotional service. We want knowledge. We should also physically read. And all of this combination will help to expedite the revamping system of our spiritual consciousness. So we need to delegate. We need to pursue that, and we need to learn, we need to hear, we need to read. Any other comments? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, when you're talking about the difference between transcendental knowledge and devotional knowledge, so, like the
Devotional?
Devotional knowledge.
Devotional knowledge.
Yeah, like, because Maya Bhats, they have a lot of transcendental knowledge, but it is not actually, like about the personal form of Krishna. So how do we kind of maybe, like in ourselves, monitor the thing where we maybe have acquired a lot of knowledge, but we haven't had the devotional realization about that. So it seems we may, become very proud to think, oh, I know so many verses, or I know this much, but we haven't, it's superficial.
Yeah. Devotional knowledge is also transcendental knowledge. That's what I said. Because, again, they are all transcendental knowledge because the so-called impersonalists, they are also discussing about Krishna, but they may not be aware that they're discussing about Krishna, discussing about Brahman fortune, Brahman Jyoti. But that is the first or the primary stage, first level of God realization. And so, so whether it is transcendental knowledge in impersonal pursuit or transcendental knowledge in personal pursuit, they are transcendental knowledge. It means something that is going beyond the physical body. That's the point. And the devotee has a chance to be able to expedite the process of that knowledge by a combination of what I mentioned. We have to read Prabhupada's books, and then we apply these things in our own lives. And, our lives, we will get some transformation very speedily. I don't know whether I'm addressing your question. So, the bottom line is that we should not relegate, transcendence to the background, or we should not sweep it under the carpet. We don't need this. We just perform devotional service. That the pursuit of transcendental knowledge in devotional service is also recommended in the Bhagavad Gita. We need to have. If we don't have that knowledge, if we don't, for instance, know the qualities of Krishna, the wonderful activities of Krishna, how are we going to develop faith in Krishna? So when we're reading the Bhagavad Gita, reading the Bhagavatam, then we are exposed to so many concepts, constructs, and ideologies of Vaishnava Vedanta, and even in the pastimes of Krishna, that consolidates our faith. We see how Krishna, at a tender age, killed Putana. He said, "Wow! God, I'm worshiping is very powerful. He's going to protect me. If he can kill that, at a baby, he can kill a big demoness like that." So all the knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, devotional transcendental knowledge, increases or consolidates our faith. And we need faith to thrive. So we need to explore more on Prabhupada's teachings so that we become equipped with that higher knowledge. And we can use that knowledge to cut the knot of material existence. Any other comments or questions? Otherwise, it's past the 8 already. All right, thank you for participating in this Krishna consciousness, and thank you very much, Jyoti Prabhu and Board of Management. Happy that I was able to come here this year. I will leave tomorrow. I am going to Durban, and I will leave soon tomorrow to Johannesburg to catch my flight for Nairobi. And then from Nairobi, I will go to West Africa, to Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, and then I will leave for India, and then from India I will go to the United States. Then the journey continues from there. South America, Europe, again, back to Africa. So we appreciate all of your efforts, especially the devotees who were helping with the cooking. It is very difficult to cook without salt. And when you go without salt and the food is sweet, then there's a lot of input of your love. So we appreciate all of your efforts. Thank you very much. This is the time.